Fanal Space. That looked incredible. Let's get a round of applause for Fanal Space. They're here.
Yes!
Cast crew. Guys, how you doing? First off, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let everybody know who you are, how you're involved in this project.
I'm Olin Rogers. I'm the creator, executive producer, and the lead of Fanal Space.
I'm Coty Galloway, and I voice Avocado. And that's with a T, not a D. So get it right.
Let's get it right. You gentlemen back there?
Matt Halkatubi, I'm one of the executive producers.
Mike Roberts, supervising director.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first off, welcome in here, guys. That trailer looked incredible. First off, the animation looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm curious, where did this sort of start? Is this all, you said that this came from you, so you thought, you were like, hey, I want to make a cartoon, and then boom, it happened? Or like, take us through the steps of the process of being like, okay, here it is in idea form, and then making it happen, and here it is getting picked up by TBS and coming out next year.
So I did a proof of concept back in 2015.
Okay.
And it was called Fanal Space. And essentially, I grew up with watching a lot of cartoons, like old Toonami, like Reboot, Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
And I just loved how there was like serialized cartoons back then, man.
Yeah.
They just didn't exist. You know,
awesome.
like today, they're kind of done. And I really wanted to create something that was serialized, but also infused my love for science fiction and comedy, and something that just had a lot of heart to it. And and then I essentially took that proof of concept out and pitched it to a bunch of networks and went with TBS.
And you were like, these guys are the right people to be with.
Yeah,
and
they immediately got it in the room. Like you knew they got it in the room. So
yeah, I saw Conan OBrien is involved. That's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's always good to have Conan in your corner. You know?
Conan, got your back.
Yeah.
Now, this journey started long before that, as you've been creating for a very long time.
Yeah, 12 years on
12
YouTube.
years, right?
Yeah.
I know personally, I've seen your balloon shop stuff
Oh,
way
man.
back in the
Dude,
day.
that's
Way
old
back.
school,
Way
yo.
back in the day. So like, I've seen sort of the journey from
Yeah.
you just kind of like hanging with your friends.
Yeah.
Videotaping funny stuff to like, boom, here we are on the stage, and you got a show on TBS. First, let's give a round of applause for that.
Yeah,
Pretty
thank you
cool.
so much.
I think that this show, it looks amazing, but what I caught from the trailer and what I think I've seen from your other stuff that you've worked on is that you do a great job of blending the comedy with the serious side of things. And I'm wondering, is that going to be a huge part of this show? Like with
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that we definitely wanted our bad guy, which is played by David Tennant, to be like a real threat. Like somebody that, you know, when our good guys actually go up against them, they're like, man, something's gonna happen. You know, it's like
can't feel safe. You can't feel safe.
Yeah.
Right?
And so we want that. Everything about this show is tone.
Yeah.
And there's so many science fiction, you know, cartoons out there that, you know, great ones. Futurama, Rick and Morty, love those.
Yes.
And those are like kind of a commentary on science fiction, and, you know, and this is actually science fiction. So in the lines of like Sunshine or Interstellar or Moon, you know, Star Wars, it's like it's just that, you know.
You're playing by the rules of the universe.
Yeah, we're participating in science fiction.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's really rad. I'm curious, when you were pitching this, was it something that you just, you knew that it was going to get picked up, it was just a matter of time?
No, man.
Okay.
When I went in and pitched it, I didn't know what the crap was going to happen. I mean,
because you never done anything like this before,
never
right?
done anything. This is my first show, so it was definitely an interesting process, and I went in there when I pitched it.
Like, how do you pitch?
Yeah, So when I pitched, I went in there with the idea of just telling a story. I stood up, commanded the attention, I acted it out, I played music. I was like, I want these people to feel this show. And apparently that's not how you typically pitch a show.
Well, thankfully he's not normal.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and that's probably something that's, you know, important. We need things to be fresh, you know. And there shouldn't be one direct way of doing something. So for TBS to pick up on that and say, hey, this guy's onto something. Let's give him a freaking shot here. And you know, they backed you all the way, and now you've surrounded yourself. Were you a part of the process of being like, okay, they picked up the show? From there, were you involved in like, all right, who's voicing this character? Who's voicing this character?
Every step, man. Yeah. I mean, we had a list of like all the people that we wanted to be in this thing, or that I wanted to work with, like a dream list, and like 90% of them said yes because they read the script and they were like, yeah. It was great.
Avocado.
So I mean, you've been doing content creation for a long, long time.
Yeah.
What did you learn in your years of doing YouTube and interacting really closely with your audience that you wanted to bring into this now highly produced show?
Yeah, I mean I'm a little bit of a different YouTuber, you know. YouTube right now is just like reviewing fast food videos and you know, stuff like that. Like
my favorite.
I from the very beginning wanted to perfect a craft, like to make short films, to make sketch comedy, to really hone my storytelling ability.
It was your style.
Yeah,
you know,
and so using
you could have made prank videos and it would have been great.
Yeah.
But you were like, that's okay.
Yeah, I never ended up doing those. But yeah, using all those skills, I was able to kind of, you know, take that and make something, you know. Really
what was the process for all of you guys going from, okay, we got this idea, it's getting picked up, we've got the right people involved. Now, was it rewriting and slowly like, all right, this is working, this isn't working? What was the process?
Well, what do you guys do?
Yeah.
Back here a little while.
Olin and I developed this, you know, I was part of that proof of concept stage. We worked for almost a year on this proof of concept, took it out to pitch, attached Conan Co. Once we sold it, one of the first things we did was brought on Shadow Machine, who did BoJack Horseman, and Mike Roberts, who's our supervising director, who helped set the vision for the series. And we had a vision for the proof of concept, but it definitely needed to evolve in certain ways and also almost create new constraints that we had to work within because, you know, we have a budget from TBS that we have to work within. And Mike Roberts was able to create the rules for that.
Yeah, because Olin basically got me when he said, I want to do a cartoon, but it's like an epic sci-fi summer blockbuster. And I was like, all right, let's do that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Is the time more right for it now than ever that we've had shows like Rick and Morty and BoJack Horseman sort of pave the way for serious adult North American animation?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it definitely could be. I think that, you know, this show's different than all of those shows, and I wanted it to be different because I love Rick and Morty so much, and it couldn't be that show. You know, it had to be its own thing, and I don't think there's something like this because when you see it, the tone is so distinct, and it feels like you're watching a Pixar movie. You know, that's broken up into 10 different episodes. So that's. It could be. This could be the moment, you know, that everybody wants, you know, old Toonami cartoon shows back.
But it's a from scratch space opera. You know what I mean? Like it's not referencing anything.
Well, no. Is it? Who is your intended audience? I suppose is more my question. Are you? Is this for us? Is this for the younger crowd? Is this like Pixar, where it's kind of got levels for everybody?
That's what we set out to do. Is those layers. Get everybody in on this.
It's serialized, and yes, we were mentioning about this great cast that's a part of it. And the scripts and the stories and how the evolution, it's the evolution of how the characters evolve. And that's something I think that we could look forward to. You don't really see a lot of that in animation.
Yeah.
You're going to build a real attachment to these characters, and we thought the only way to do that is not to reset the episode every single episode. Let's keep it going. So we're not doing anything new that hasn't been done in features, but I think on television, you haven't quite had a story in the animated world on broadcast with this type of scope.
Right. So from episode 1 to episode 10, you're on a thrill adventure ride and falling in love with characters. And so just stay tuned to TBS and you can watch all of it.
Are you guys down in Atlanta?
No, we're in LA.
Oh, okay. Good.
West
choice.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
And we got our production studios in Canada, in Toronto.
Yeah.
The who making the actual animation.
That's what I was going to ask about next.
Yeah.
Because something about that trailer is I just was like, I don't even know what it's about, but it's pretty. I don't know. I want to look at it, you know. Were you guys blown away by that? What were you guys involved in that? Did you guys ship it off to them, and then they were just sort of like, yeah, we know we're good, and just took care of it?
I cried.
You were beautiful, right? Yeah, I can't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, we built the animatics and did all the design work here in LA at Shadow Machine.
Okay.
And we shipped that out to.
That was the proof of concept stuff?
No.
Oh,
that's the actual series.
Like black and white storyboards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
I don't know how to make TV.
Jamfield in I think Ottawa is animating that now.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And now it's a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're doing an amazing job. We got like a great art director, Devin Roth's on the case.
Devo.
We call him Devo. That's right. I was like, wait, what's his name again?
Yeah. He's worked on a lot of great shows.
He's worked on like Rick and Morty and all this kind of stuff. Family Guy, like he's been around. So he basically packaged up this thing that you ship out to the other country, and it comes back looking beautiful. And on our end, all we worried about was story. So we were making these beautiful animatics that basically you have to get everyone to fall in love with the show in black and white with temp dialogue and temp sound effects. So if it's working in black and white with bad audio, then when it comes back color, you go, oh, it looks
now
good.
You're at this point where it's already complete, right? It's pretty much complete.
Getting there.
Comes out.
It's close.
It's close.
Getting there.
Close.
Yeah.
Now you're doing stuff like this. What's the feedback been so far, just from what you guys have put out there, and how does that feel to sort of be like, okay, I've been working on something, and it's still not out there yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of just like excitement, anticipation. You guys had panels. Have you guys been?
What is
just now? Yeah, we just did
one. I just had one right now.
One right now.
Yeah.
No, the anticipation is killing me.
Yeah.
And I'm just so thrilled to how I'm even a part of it. Thank you, TBS. And thanks, Olin, and persistence.
Thanks, Olin.
Thanks, Olin. And really working hard to be a part of it and to see it coming to fruition and to be here in New York City with all of you great people. I mean,
that's the pander. Go.
It's really amazing, and I'm just like,
So what's your relationship with Avocado like at this point?
Oh God, right.
Unhealthy.
Are you
Right here.
you embody the avocado?
Yeah, I mean, when we first spoke about this bounty hunter cat, I was thinking, whoa, that is amazing. I was like, that's a good idea. And then let's do the avocado and this name. And then it was, we had an idea for who Avocado was.
Yeah.
And then when we got into the booth, something to go with that is our friendship. And we can really connect in that booth and just
we're legitimate friends in real life. Yeah.
So you guys did the recording in the same booth, right? It wasn't one and one. That's cool.
And so with Mike and with Olin, we was able to get Avocado really to a zero of who he is. And then I was able to come in with the color of life and bring it to him.
Yeah. It's always good to add that little color of life to the character.
We try to have color of life on most of the characters.
You had to dig deep into his life marker pack and bring that color of life out.
The show has that.
So, wait, with the two of you in the sound booth, is there a lot of improv going on when it comes to the lines?
There's definitely been a bit of improv.
There's like, hell yeah.
We take you to places.
I feel like that's a good way to be, because you're not tied down to anything. And you're like, if we're right there, we're recording it. If it works, just try this. Let's go with it.
Yeah, if you can make it work in the booth, then you know it's going to be funny when you get it out there. So yeah, we did a lot of that. These guys sitting there just telling jokes, and being able to cut that in was really fun.
Well, the booth that we've been in is a really tight kind of place. It's really great.
It's intimate.
It's
Two
very
people have to
intimate.
hug to fit.
But it goes back to when I first worked with this guy together on one of his projects. We were in wetsuits. And I'm talking about for hours, right?
Yeah,
making this production, Mega Man. I don't know if you've seen it.
We did this fan film, Mega Man, and it's so dumb. We wear like foam costumes.
But it was so great, though.
Sweating our faces off, drenched in sweat in these wetsuits.
But like I said, in that moment, that's when I knew that this guy right here could be my friend.
That was it.
You know?
In the wetsuit, sweating.
The wetsuit
Hour
bond.
12.
Making it happen.
The rubber bond.
Well,
now he makes all the storyboard
guys,
artists wear those.
Thank you for coming in and talking about Fanal Space.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's give him a round of applause.
Something I want to add.
Yes.
Olin Rogers is a mastermind with laser vision. Okay?
You heard it here. That's right.
That's right.
Laser Vision. TBS 2018
TBS.
Fanal Space. Check it out. Thank you guys. We'll be back with more awesome stuff here at New York
Thanks,
Comic Con
TBS.
2017.